This passage is such a great example of something I say all the time. Don't get bogged down in weird words and complicated ideas. It's not those proper nouns, it's not those specific things that the passage seems to be about that the question is going to be about. It's about what they say about those things. So I see a lot of words already in italics here that I know I'm going to have trouble pronouncing. I'm not going to bother. I don't care. It's much more what they say about those things that's going to matter. So let's take a look. Overall structure of the text. In Coasati, an indigenous language from what is now the southeastern United States, Misiplin is the singular form of to wink, whereas Mislin is the plural form of to wink. Similarly, Ladafkan is the singular form of to kick something, whereas the plural form is lakan. These are instances of subtractive morphology, so instances, they're examples, in which a base word is truncated, removing the ip and af in these cases, to form a new related word. This kind of subtractive morphology is pervasive in Coasati. So a lot of good words there. Truncate means to shorten. Pervasive means kind of being everywhere or being very, very common. So those are good words to know, but I think we can get that even without this. Basically, these are examples, right? So we kind of saw that. These are examples of this thing, subtractive morphology. So again, I don't really care about the name. I just know that it's an example of something. Let's look at the choices. It describes the relationship between Coasati and several other languages. I don't think it does, so right there I'm going to probably stop reading. Raises a question about the nature of that relationship. No, it does not. And then answers that question. No, it does not. This has nothing to do with other languages, right? So the main character here is shifting, but that's not what we're talking about. B. It identifies the most frequently occurring words in Coasati. Here we have one of those quantifier words, right? So they gave us two examples. Are they the most frequent examples? I don't think so. They certainly didn't say that. It explains why it is difficult to translate those words into English. Connotation seems wrong. It doesn't seem difficult. It seems like they did it very easily. Then provides examples of languages other than English into which those words can be translated. No, it does not. It only is ever about one language. So this is wrong on all three counts. C. It presents some specific words in Coasati. Yes, it does. Describes the general linguistic phenomenon exemplified by those words. What is that phenomenon? Well, it's the subtractive morphology thing. Then states that this phenomenon occurs frequently in Coasati. So this word bothers me. Frequently, again, is one of those time words. It's a quantifier word, but do we have evidence of it? Well, it says pervasive. Right? So there you go. That's our evidence, right? So it's not always the case that these quantifier words, these time words are a problem. It's just the things we need to check. And when they check off, it's very obvious, right? We have another word that means exactly that. So it is good to know that word pervasive. I think even without that, you should know that that's probably the answer because we're kind of like at 2 for 3 there at that point. Let's see if D is any better, but already C is certainly better than A and B. D, it explains the phenomenon of subtractive morphology. Maybe. Discusses why subtractive morphology has been controversial, no, among scholars, and argues that an analysis could help resolve that controversy. No, there's no controversy here. This is just like a thing. It's just like a statement of fact. They're not arguing over anything. Yeah, maybe subtractive morphology is weird, but that doesn't mean it's controversial. It's just, okay, this is a language that is maybe a little bit different from other languages. But yeah, this is why even when we have hard vocabulary words, we can usually kind of get around it because there's other things going on, maybe in the passage, maybe in the other answer choices, that kind of narrows it down for us. It's still really helpful if we know what pervasive means, because then we're kind of guaranteed that C is a perfect match. But don't panic when you hit words you don't know. They might not really matter in the actual process of elimination that you use to get the right answer.